6 Cage of Doom match for the Dream Masters #1 contendership for the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix Championship, as we have 6 of our top superstars in the BA MMA division about to take place. And this should be interesting. A lot of great talented here. And the first time a lot of these people are going to interact. 2 newcomers to Icons of the F4L who made their debut earlier in today's show. Both Ryder, the Nation Lockwood, and of course, Action Jackson Baker. Both new to our division. And getting an opportunity, huge opportunity here, to step in there with some of the veterans of the show, including former BA MMA Grand Prix champion, former BA MMA Grand Prix champion, the SuperDuck Grayson Russell, former BA MMA Grand Prix Tag Team champion, one half, Henry El Nero Mena, and of course, the Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott, one of the BA champion legends of the show. Speaking of which, we're going to get things off with the first introduction. This is to be held under BA MMA title rules. It is indeed. So, Ryder Nation Lockwood making his way into the ring. One of the 6 superstars to make their entering here. A fairly newcomer is Ryder Nation. Separate attire here for Ryder Nation. Trained in both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. Loves to compete. Oh boy. And this is going to be something, folks. I should again remind you guys, this is under BA MMA rules. I say Dream Masters BA MMA rules, so that means the only ways to get eliminated is by knockout or submission only. The only things you don't need is 2 straight points. However, knockout or submission only is the only ways to be eliminated here. And this is again for the #1 contender for the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix Championship. And this should be a classic. And of course, we know who this young man is all too well. As this young man has done a lot here in the show, and one of the favorites of the early days and still going. Plenty of fight left in the tank for the Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott, who just evolves over the year. And at one point, this young man would never let go of that BA championship back in the day, when it was his own separate thing. But here we are, years and years later, and the Prodigy still taking names and doing all that they do. We have 2 bonus matches for you guys today. This is the 1 of 2. And of course, this should be iconic. Jackson taking his time getting to the ring. And I got to tell you, this is going to be a clinic in combat sports. And the future of UFC may be decided also here, as we've got some of the top stars some of which have been on my list for the top future UFC champions. The Prodigy making his way into the cage as well, his pod, if you would. There are 6 individuals, 6 spots. And here comes another newcomer. Made his debut earlier, putting down Logan Paul in almost record timing. This young man has a tremendous following already. Listen to this reaction as Action Jackson Baker makes his second match in one night. Fans clamoring for more. And here we go. Time for Action Town as Action Jackson Baker. That's Park Hills, Missouri, but that's okay. We'll forgive the ring announcer. That's what I just said. Tremendous match earlier today as he put down Logan Paul in a BA MMA styles match, so he knows how to get this done. Of course, this one is a little bit different as he's getting an opportunity here to become #1 contender. Stepping in there with some people who have been here a little bit before. Of course, he's got Ryder Lockwood, who also started today. So I'm sure the nerves on these two young men might be there, but you wouldn't even know that by the confidence shown by all of these individuals. And by process of elimination, we know who else is involved in this match. So we know who's going to kick things off, and of course that makes perfect sense, and I'm going to tell you, could be iconic in its own right. And of course, the Russian football star from Moscow, Russia. Yevgeny Verkovets, number 13. The football MMA ultra sportsman from Moscow. As I just said, Yevgeny Verkovets making his way to the ring yet again. In case you're wondering, you might be saying, well, wait a minute here now. You have some of the top stars here. Why are there some people not here? Well, we only have 6 slots. And there are things that are going to be settled in our next shows. So that is why they are not here, as they have already been the challenges have been thrown down for the gauntlets. And also, there may be another team who you're maybe expecting, 2 people, who you'd expect maybe in this match who might have something else in our bonus content match. As Verkovets going to the outside. Oh, he's got a pod as well. Got many pods here. That means we have 2 spots open. This is 6 of our top stars, and of course, yep, we know this one. Making his, of course, this young man needs no introduction, but we're going to give it to him anyway, as if his video doesn't tell you. It's Grayson the SuperDuck Russell, making his, well, 9th, who knows how many appearances, we've lost count. The SuperDuck, Grayson Russell, vowing to get back the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix Championship. Really embracing this persona. Last but not least, oh boy. Nero Mena out of San Antonio, Texas. They got that right. I guess he got most of that. Representing the Mena boys, who have been a dominant tag team. They've been tremendous here. Henry getting an opportunity for a singles competition. He did pretty well in our open MMA. He did really well in our trick-or-treat melee. You guys may have watched Henry earlier. Coming close. However, the winner of that has chosen to challenge an opposite person, so Henry has nothing to worry about there. But Henry getting an opportunity here, raising some eyebrows and trying to get a singles title. His brother Hyro winning this year's open MMA tournaments we had this year. And here we go, as Henry takes things off pretty much how we knew. This is going to be an instant classic, folks. I'm glad this is live, because there is no way to know how long this thing's going to go. As Henry taking it to the SuperDuck, Grayson Russell. A lot of ways, this is the first time some of these individuals have faced each other. I don't believe the SuperDuck and Henry Mena have been able to face each other. Even in our open MMA tournament, they were not in the same brackets. Oh, what a shot there. Both young men trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, among other things. The difference being Grayson Russell trained in also wrestling. Henry also trained in Muay Thai and kickboxing and regular boxing. So that adds a few more extra things there. As Henry's all fired up, and rightfully so. In just a moment, we're going to have another person join us in this. Oh boy, here comes the Russian footballer. Verkovitz also trains in MMA, so don't let that fool you. Don't think that he's outmatched as the soccer star. Oh, what a takedown there. The Prodigy in there now, and the 4 veterans thus far are in the ring. Okay, here we go. It's Ryder the Nation Lockwood coming in at number 5, and no one's been eliminated as of yet. And the only way is, again, to be eliminated is knockout or submission only, as all these young men, tremendous athletes in their own right. Henry taking down Ryder Lockwood, now a shot to Jackson R. Scott, the Prodigy. And returning the favor as Grayson the SuperDuck Russell in the corner. Ryder Lockwood looking for a submission on Verkovitz. And here comes the last but not least, Action Jackson Baker. That's sure luck there, as Jax doesn't waste time. He's going after Nero Mena, of all people, to go after. He goes after the person who probably has several titles and has been around quite a while. And Henry right back up, and there's Ryder Lockwood, the other newcomer, going after Action Jackson, who just got in. Russian leg sweep by Ryder. And now Jackson sending Ryder to the corner. Uh-oh. A springboard drop kick for the SuperDuck. And there's Ryder Lockwood with a German suplex. And by the way, Ryder and Jackson trained in wrestling. And there's a submission. I don't know why the Prodigy saved that. But the Prodigy, the Bloom Lock. And Grayson Russell, unfortunately, tapping out to the Bloom Lock, one of the most devastating maneuvers on our show. And remember, folks, as I remind you guys again, we have no control over this or any other matches you saw before, during, or after this one. Unfortunately, Grayson Russell is going to have to wait a little while longer to get back into the swing of things as he's trying to yank his way out of the ring. He looks lost. Poor young man. And Berkovitz getting those fancy feet put in there as the Grayson makes his way out of the ring. And Henry hitting anything that's going to move. And Berkovitz taking it to the Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott. And Ryder Lockwood looking to figure out who he's going to get himself involved with. It goes after Henry Mena. And submission hold locked in on Henry, and that's an elimination by Ryder Lockwood with two net. Well, that's an elimination for both. Meeting of the minds. Uh-oh. Yeah, trying to hurt the fingers now, and now going for the Kimura. Jackson Baker locked in the Kimura by Ryder Lockwood. Can Jackson get out of that? Kicks him off as a Prodigy. Jackson R. Scott taking a Berkovitz, and Jackson returning the favor to Ryder Lockwood. I mentioned both these young men have similar backgrounds, both trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as have some wrestling as well. Double leg takedown by Ryder Lockwood, and he's locked in a submission hold on Jackson Baker. This could be tough. That's a tough one to get out of. I wouldn't know how do you get out of that one or counter that, but they're going to do it nonetheless. We're down to the final four here as the Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott. And and Jackson Baker with another submission, this time on Ryder Lockwood again. This time, that's a variation of a dragon sleeper. And that was a tremendous effort there. And guillotine. And that's it. Ryder Lockwood eliminated. Jackson, side kick there by Berkovitz. German release suplex. And the Prodigy, we're down to the final three now, and this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. And the winner of this will face the champion on the 14th of October. And there's a reverse suplex. We're down to the final two. The veteran, Jackson R. Scott, and the rookie, no offense, but the first-timer, the Action Jackson Baker, going out to the Prodigy, Jackson R. Scott. And this is what it's come down to, folks. The past meets the present, knee to the face. And what Jackson has to watch out for is that Bloom Lock as he mocks the Prodigy. I don't know if I would do that necessarily. He's got to be careful of the Bloom Lock, as once that's in, it could be tough. What a spine buster by Jackson. Imagine Jackson Baker versus, watch out. Gut wrench suplex coming up. Nope, reversal by Jackson. Imagine the match between Oh no, guillotine choke. Guillotine by Jackson Baker on the Prodigy. Jackson doesn't top out often. This is Jackson versus Jax. I'm not confused at all, folks. They're very much different individuals. And could you just imagine the match between either one of these young men and the current champion, Big E, Elijah Furton? Jackson with Jax in the corner. Uh-oh. And Northern Lights suplex. Oh, watch out. Could be separate. He could be setting him up for the Bloom Lock, and that's something, again, that that's what Jax has to avoid with Jackson up. What does Jackson have in mind? He dumps him over the top rope and out to the outside area. Can Jax get in there? Watch out, the Bloom Lock. The Bloom Lock is locked in. Not many people have been able to avoid the Bloom Lock. But Jax was able to reverse it. That's crazy. That was impressive, folks. Not many people can avoid the Bloom Lock, and Jax Baker just countered it. And now Jackson sent him off, Jax off the ropes. And out to the outside, Jackson to the high rent district. Off the rope, misses the elbow. That was a costly error. And the Prodigy sent into the pod now as Jax, what has he got? What is he doing? Oh my! Jax utilizing the ring as a weapon, back elbow by Jackson R. Scott. Jax Baker sent into the ring by the Prodigy. Jax Baker doing fairly well here against the Prodigy. This could be quite the thing here as he sends him out of the ring again. Prodigy taking his time, not rushing in. Methodical for one of the longest reigning BA champions of all time, Jackson R. Scott. Sending Jax back into the ring. I'm wondering if he's playing the mind games that Jackson likes to do. Jackson is very good with the philosophical and psychological aspect of things. He's taking his time, and I don't know if I would let the newcomer recover like that, but that's just me. Sends him out of the ring again. Jack's almost toying with Jax Baker, which is not something I would do necessarily. I thought maybe Jackson R. Scott was going to go airborne again, and Jax R. Scott now side moonwalking. I can't say I've ever seen him do that. Goes for chop block and misses. Uh-oh! Guillotine locked in. And that's it. Sometimes there's an old saying in wrestling. If you have a person down, you need to go for the win. And sometimes by being and taking all the time in the world, it can lead to a costly error. And also, the other thing to remember is the old tortoise and the hare. And the Prodigy looked like he thought he had it run, and then Jackson Baker just became the #1 contender for the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix champion on his first night in the show. 2 big wins, first over Logan Paul, and now over 5 of the top people in the division. And now, on the 14th, Action Jackson Baker goes one-on-one with Big E, Elijah Furton, for the Dream Masters BA MMA Grand Prix Championship, one-on-one. Congratulations, Jackson Baker. On a roll.